This RJ the Sandman with RNK The Show coming to you with another video. This is a special video to commemorate Black History Month. Per se commemorate, really to expose some of the lies and the BS that we were told about Black history. Supposed Black history. It's entitled Fuck Black History Month. This is part one of a 4-part series that will come out to you every Monday in February 2020. And I hope you like and enjoy it. Ooh, y'all gonna hate me. Happy Black History Month, aka not really a holiday because it don't do nothing for niggas. We don't get no days off, we don't get no special preference for the BS that we went through. And to even be a so-called deserving of this holiday, like I said before, this will be a 4-part series that will commemorate the life, the struggle, progress, and success of the so-called black race. And this video is called Fuck Black History Month because for the holiday to be so-called Black History Month, given the fact that we've spent 300 plus years working for free in this country, to then go from cattle to third-class citizens, then to go from third-class to second-class citizens, and we've been stuck in the second place ever since, is very appalling. We as a so-called black race have built this country and not by our own choice. Then to be still stuck in the situation that we are today as of 2020 is a shame to say the least. But it's honestly no one's fault but ours. But let's start from the beginning. And when I mean the beginning, I don't mean slavery. Yes, black history didn't start with slavery, and it definitely didn't end with slavery. Even though we're still in a state of mental slavery as we speak right now. Yes, that's a shocker. Personally, this is how I feel. And this is how I recall Black History Month in school. First off, settlers came to Africa looking for cheap, free labor. Then they found our black asses, brought our black asses back to the colonies, dropped us off in plantations. Then came the abolitionists like Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, among others. Then the Civil War, then we were free, then Jim Crow, then the KKK. Which the KKK actually was founded the same year that we were freed from slavery. Then Martin Luther King, then Martin Luther King assassination. Then we finally get the rights that we were looking for. Then where we are at the end, we're still kind of where we started. You know, when you think back to grade school and high school, middle school, depending on what generation you're in, you know, I know my generation, when we were younger, we had more black history stuff taught in school. I'm not exactly sure what's taught in school now, but, you know, if you're in your mid-20s, early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, you know, you remember back in school, black history, when you came to think about it, after it's all over done with, we were left with the point that it pretty much glorified slavery and Lincoln for freeing the slaves, and pretty much gave us a sense that good thing we were brought over here in these chains because we would still be over there swinging from vines, eating people, fucking monkeys, and etc. Because that's where they claim AIDS came from monkeys in Africa. And let that sink in, you know. Same thing, different day. Same thing, different generation. Yeah, we have more free rights, per se, but we're still treated like second, third-class citizens. Sounds amazing, right? Well, the wool over our eyes has been over our eyes for generations, and it was done intentionally because the powers that be knew that if we had any idea that we came from greatness, that we wouldn't settle for less, or at least all of us wouldn't. And America would never be sorry for slavery that they put us through and how they benefited from it just because they wanted to, and just they want us to just let it go. But then you give us Black History Month. It doesn't make any sense. They definitely don't want to pay the debt that they paid. You know, they were supposed to give our ancestors 40 acres and a mule. That's not just a saying. That was a promise that was never fulfilled. But they paid reparations to other countries. Other civilizations got reparations, etc. The Jews for the Holocaust and stuff like that. But we have a black Holocaust that's still continuing to this day. But first off, back home in the motherland, we live like kings and gods. Not all of us, but some of us did. Just like in America, not all of us live good, but some of us do, supposedly. You know, we have some rich and wealthy people here among us, some rich and wealthy people that supposedly are supposed to represent progress in the black community. But even in slavery time, we did have some that were above the others, the so-called house negro, or the house nigger, like they called it, and then the field nigger, you know. There's still a lot of house niggers and field niggers to this day. But we have to remember that there was a time that all we had was each other. And when that was, the time that we had all each other, then, you know, we looked out for each other. We stuck up for each other. But then once we became integrated, which was a big push around the Martin Luther King era, and that's what he was pushing for integration, he spoke out against it close towards the end of his life because he felt like he was integrating us into a burning house. The house has never stopped burning. It's still burning. It's never going to quit burning until we do something about it. But then you give us Black History Month, the shortest month of the year. Interesting. Back to slavery in particular, because that's one of the big things that they push in Black history. You know, we have this idea, or we have this type of thought process, like light skins versus dark skin, straight hair versus curly hair, etc. That's a slave mentality syndrome thinking, you know, that we are better than other black people, supposed black people. We're all the same. You know, the powers that be look at all of us the same. The powers that be look at black people at the lowest, you know, but we're their biggest money makers. We spend the most money with them, etc. You know, our money doesn't stay in our circle like it should have. But, you know, we have examples like Black Wall Street, where we were doing for ourselves when we were segregated, and then they came and burnt that down. So, you know, it's like they want us to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps, but then when we do, they hate us for it. And then they hate us to this day, and it's like we didn't ask to come here. But back to that note about us asking to come here, we were already here, and that's one thing that they don't want you to know. We've been here since the beginning. We've been here since pretty much the beginning of time. There were always people of color in the so-called Americas. You call them the Indians or the Native Americans, etc. We were already here. And that's a fact. That's no way around that and all that. You know, there is the debate about slavery not being real, slavery never happened, and they're writing out the history books as we speak. So after a while, we won't have a Black History Month anyway. We don't even push Black History Month as much as we used to. Black History Month, aka the same month that the Super Bowl's playing, one of the biggest TV TV events that goes on once a year. But when we all picked cotton together and sang songs together, we were together. But then when some of us get a little money, we move out of the hood, supposedly, instead of putting money back into the hood. And we weren't just slaves in the Americas. We were slaves in South America, places like Trinidad, which is not South America, but the Caribbeans in Trinidad and places like that in Jamaica. That's why a lot of those countries are still particularly black, or what do you want to call it, but they're particularly black still. You know, we picked tobacco, sugar cane, and etc. You know, the whole point of Black History Month is to really kind of rub our noses in it. You know, it's like, yeah, you niggas went from somewhere, now you're somewhere else now, thanks to massa for finally letting you go. But then they still keep us tied down mentally. You know, we cannot recover from that because we don't even know our roots. Our roots were destroyed when we came across those chains. We came across in those chains to the Americas and to the Caribbeans and to Haiti. Shout out to Haiti because they did revolt in the 1800s. The Haitian revolt, matter of fact. But, you know, Black History Month, you know, we learned that in grade school. There are a lot of notable people that I'm going to mention in my part 2 of the video. Thank you for checking out my video, and like, share, and subscribe to RNK the show. We're coming with more conscious videos and conscious content, and also a little comedy to kind of, you know, lighten up the mood a little bit. But thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and see you in the next video. See you next Monday.
Get 'em in. That sun is hot and plenty bright. Let's get on to business and get home tonight. Bid 'em in. Auctioning slaves is a real high art. Bring that young gal, Roy. She's good for a start. Bid 'em in, get 'em in. Now here's a real good buy on about 15. Her great grandmammy was a Dahomey queen. Just look at her face, she sure ain't homely. Like Sheba in the Bible, she's black but comely. Bid 'em in. Gonna start at 3. Can I hear 3? Step up, chance, take a good look, see. Cause I know you'll want her once you've seen her. She's young and ripe, make a darn good breeder. Bid 'em in. She's good in the field, she can sew and cook. Strip her down, Roy, let the gentleman look. She's full up front and ample behind. Examine her teeth if you got a mind. Bid 'em in, get 'em in. Here's a bid of 3 from a man who's thrifty. 325, can I hear 350? Your money ain't earning you much in the banks. Turn her around, Roy, let 'em look at her flanks. Bid 'em in. 350 is bid and I'm looking for 4. At $400 she's a bargain sure. 4 is the bid, 450. $500 now, look alive. Bid 'em in, get 'em in. Don't mind them tears, that's one of her tricks. 550 is bid and who'll say 6? She's healthy and strong and well equipped. Make a fine lady's maid when she's properly whipped. Bid 'em in. 650, don't be slow. 7 is the bid, gonna let her go. At 7, she's going, gone. Pull her down hard, bring the next one on. Bid 'em in, get 'em in, bid 'em in.